Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business. Joining me today is Jasmin Guenette, who is Vice President of National Affairs for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, Mario.
Well, the CFIB today sounded a bit of an alarm out there that the federal government support programs that have been in place, throughout the pandemic to help small businesses throughout the country are now starting to be phased out or will be soon. First of all, just what is your concern about all this right now, or the organization's concern, Jasmin?
Well, we are seeing reopenings of businesses across the country. In Alberta, BC, Quebec, other provinces are reopening their economy at different speed, at different level, but we are seeing, the country reopening. That's very good news. But we have to be careful not to withdraw the support that businesses received since the beginning of the pandemic too fast and too early. Otherwise, some businesses might not be able to fully take advantage of the reopenings and could be hurt by not having some supports in the coming months as they starting to be able to reopen and welcome clientele again.
So tell me, let's look at some of these programs that have been in place for some time now and the impact they've had. First, the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. So what's happening with that now, and how important has that been for the small business community?
Very important. Close to 60% of small businesses applied and received the wage subsidy. So it was very important. And it was not only important for, paying those wages, but also to make sure that the link between the employer and the employee was kept, so that people can have a job to return to as soon as the conditions are good to do that. So a very important program for many small businesses. For many months, the subsidy for the hardest hit businesses was at 75%, but as of Sunday of this week, the rate started to go down. It's going to go down again next month and the month after that, and the program is set to expire in September. And what we are saying is that the rate should remain as is for now and for the foreseeable future, for as long as all businesses in all sectors are not fully reopened.
Yeah. Okay, then. What about the Canada Emergency Rent Subsidy? Again, maybe describe what is happening with that now, and also how important that has been in the past year.
Yeah. Well, a very important program. Again, the take on it was not as high as the wage subsidy program. There are many reasons for that. One being that the first rent subsidy program was a fiasco, and so it had to be changed and entirely redesigned. And the current rent program, although better designed, had some gaps in it that made it difficult for many businesses to apply. But still, a very important program. And again, it's important that this program continues in the reopening phase, and like the wage subsidy, the rates started to decline as of this week, and the program will phase out in September. And we know what are the most important expense of any business. It's the wage, it's the wages and the rent. And so those two programs are very helpful for many small businesses throughout the country.
Yeah, and the final program that I just wanted to ask you about was the Canada Emergency Business account. So is that too being phased out?
Well, it's not phased out, it's over.
It's over.
The government pulled the plug on that program. So the CEBA loan program, the Canada Emergency Business Account, was a program where businesses could receive $60,000. And if you pay back the loan in time under certain condition, you get to keep $20,000. And so it's a good program. The take on it was immense. I believe it's like close to 1 million of those loans that were given throughout the pandemic. So very important program, helping businesses with cash flow because you have additional money, so you can help. It helps to pay suppliers and things like that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as of June 30th, it's impossible to make any new applications. So
Okay.
there are some outstanding applications still being processed, and that's going to go through the fall. But that program has been terminated as of June 30th for any new applicants.
Okay, well, here's the thing that I'm wondering about. Now, all these programs being dropped, is under the understanding that, we're moving on from COVID, right? Vaccinations and things down, but there are a lot of concerns still out there, right? With different variants coming up, like, God forsake that we have another wave or whatever wave you want to count it as, the 4th, 5th, 10th, or whatever. But what happens then? Like, what if we have another wave and we go into lockdown and boom, these businesses have nothing now for support programs?
That's a very good question. So we all hope that we won't see a 4th or 5th wave. As you said, we are not so sure where we are at the moment, but we all hope shutting down the economy, because clearly we have seen the immense difficulty that business encounter because of that. So the federal government has been willing, and we have to give them credit for that. They have been willing to adjust the programs, to extend, to expand during the course of the pandemic. And we are hopeful that they are going to listen to us now, and they are going to go back to the drawing board if it needs to be because of another wave in the fall. But I suspect that the hope is really to make sure that businesses can remain open, being fully open, and being able to serve their clients and customers as they see fit. But as I said, the federal government has adjusted several times their program. So we hope that they will do that again if needed this time around, and later in the fall if needs to be.
Okay, super. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
That was Jasmin Guenette, who is Vice President of National Affairs for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business. Thanks for joining us today.